Hey everyone, Steve Smed here. I'm a director and DP, and today I'll be breaking down how I shot the music video for Cancer Rising by the artist Sam Graham. I had a GoPro rigged to the camera and also wore it on a chest mount, as you can see in this picture, to capture BTS because a lot of work went into this video and I wanted to be able to share how I made it. So hopefully you guys find this helpful and maybe you can learn something from it too. When Sam and I first met to discuss this idea, he wanted to do something that was a little darker and more dramatic than his last video and thought it would be a good fit. He wanted to do a lonely, melancholy pool party for one, and to do something that was longing and nostalgic but still had quirky elements to it. So after we met, I compiled a mood board based on the theme and color palette we talked about. I then took all these images and the location scout photos and put them together in a visual sheet. This worked as a roadmap for the shoot and served as a proof of concept for the video. Location can often be tricky, but luckily I just helped out my friend Adam with the shoot, and we filmed at his house, and that's how I found out that he had a pool. After scouting the location, I was able to figure out my camera angles and how I would light it from there. Starting with our wide establishing shot, we took 4 4-foot quasars dialed in at 6,000 Kelvin and gelled with quarter CTV for a little extra blue light, and mounted 2 on the house and had 2 on the camera left side of the pool on the ground. We shot a 2K into the pool to bounce back the ripples of the water and had a Luxley 2x1 light diffused with 250 as a kind of street light out of frame. Once we had our set lit, moving around and framing up became pretty simple. We had a 2-foot quasar on a stand we'd fly in for a little extra blue light. We'd also move around the Luxley as our key. This is one of my favorite shots, and it's definitely one of the most intimate and emotional parts of the song. For this, we just made sure the 2K was hitting the waves just right, but also giving him a nice backlight. I shot this project on the Blackmagic Pocket 6K at Q5 with Zeiss Janus. I also used an 1/8 black Promus to take a little more of the digital edge off and give the highlights a slight halation. When we moved into the pool, we put our camera in a fish tank and half submerged it in the water. Luckily, the tank was buoyant enough to hold the camera, and my AC Emily helped support me with that while we were in the pool. It was really difficult to move around and find frames, but we caught some really cool moments and it helped bring out some of the drama, but also the quirkiness I wanted. For the underwater shots, I used my trusty Sony a6500 at 120 frames a second and a splash bag. Because the budget for this shoot was pretty limited and I couldn't afford an underwater housing, I got this splash bag and was really pleased with how well it worked out. These shots were pretty difficult to get, but we still got some really cool moments, and the 2K and Luxley were giving us just enough light. Underwater cinematography can be pretty difficult, so I wasn't trying to lean too heavily on getting these shots, but it did make all the difference in the final video. Even though it was the summer, the water was still pretty cold at night, so shout out to Sam for being such a trooper and keeping the energy up. We used a Mavic Pro 2 for the drone shot. I think a really well-timed and executed drone shot can really help sell a video, and I think we picked the right moment in the song too. Because the main bulk of the video was a night exterior, we had to shoot overnight. When you got a shoot like this with a limited budget, I wanted to make sure everyone was happy and comfortable so we didn't push it too far. We were wrapped out of there by 4 a.m. and got everyone home to sleep all day. Projects like this where you're directing, shooting, producing, and putting a lot of time and days work into it don't happen unless you call in a bunch of favors and also have some friends that you can really rely on and got your back. So another big shout out to Adam, Emily, and Luke, and Steve Carmona for helping me out with this and working on it overnight. And thanks for Sam for trusting me with his vision for this video. I had a lot of fun making it. Let me know if you liked the video or if you would have done anything differently. I'm more than welcome to feedback. Take care, guys.